It is my honor and privilege to address this 116th edition of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show, being held under the theme Powering Growth, where agriculture, technology, and commerce converge. I wish to congratulate the Council, management, and staff of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Society, together with all stakeholders, for the institution's 116 years of service. For over a century, this premier platform has been a strategic space where the broad array of agriculture sector players converge. It is here where the policy of government meets practice. The week-long event provides the people of our great motherland, Zimbabwe, an opportunity to see and experience some of the results of our ongoing national development programs. The ingenuity of the various sectors of the economy, which impact our mechanization, modernization, and industrialization, is equally evident. These grounds of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Society provide that ecosystem where the farmer can access irrigation equipment and the banks interact with the new clients for credit guarantee schemes. In addition, processors can sign contracts to fill the agro-processing zones, and the young talented boy or girl child can showcase his or her ingenuity, innovation, and creativity, including demonstrating how to build an agri-tech business solution. It is timely that this year's Agriculture Show is occurring on the backdrop of the implementation of the National Development Strategy #2. This strategic national blueprint provides for the accelerated realization of Vision 2030. Key aspects of agriculture, including mechanization and irrigation development, among others, are at the center of this agenda. Under my administration, the sector is the engine of industrialization, driver of exports, and foundation of food security and self-sufficiency, as well as empowerment and employment creation. It is pleasing that under the National Development Strategy #1, we have built the requisite foundation for sustained growth. This has seen us realize unprecedented milestones. In wheat, our beloved motherland, Zimbabwe, achieved 100% self-sufficiency in 2023-2024. And again in 2025, with a harvest of 375,000 metric tons. Under maize, we experienced a strong recovery from the 2024 drought to produce 2.3 million metric tons in 2025, restoring our strategic grain reserve. Agricultural exports now exceed $2.1 billion. Recently, the closure of the 2026 tobacco marketing season was marked with results that should make the nation proud. Our country produced 358 million kilograms of tobacco, valued at over $890 million US. This is our second highest crop harvest on record, while tobacco remains our #1 agriculture export earner, employing over 500,000 people across the value chain. I wish to commend our farmers, extension workers, financial institutions, input suppliers, and other stakeholders for these success milestones. I say well done, Makorokoto Amhlope, Zimbabwe. Going forward, I challenge the various subsectors across all categories of farmers to shift the horizon towards increased and consistent high output transformation and value addition. As we journey towards this goal, my government is committed to continually develop the total hectarage of irrigation. The overall objective is to ensure that yearly we produce enough maize, enough wheat, enough traditional grains and horticulture to feed our nation ourselves and have a surplus for export. Under the National Development Strategy #2, we will no longer export opportunities, jobs, and the value of our products, which are often exported as raw materials. To this end, the Second Republic has set out to establish special agro-processing zones in all our 10 provinces. We must move from raw soybeans to cooking oil and stock feeds, raw milk to cheese and yogurt, among other dairy products, fruits to juice and concentrates, tobacco leaf to cigarettes, cattle to leather and packaged meat. All agricultural produce must be processed locally. The target is to grow the overall agro-processing share in the manufacturing sector. This responsibility is not only for big enterprises, but must be promoted from the village level and rural industrialization frameworks. This must see the transition of more than 1.8 million smallholder farmers into commercial value chains. Strategies such as contract farming, linkages with the Zimbabwe Mercantile Exchange, and financing under the expanded Agricultural Finance Corporation, as well as the new credit guarantee scheme, should be pursued with deliberate focus. On its part, government will continue to facilitate the ease of doing business environment to ensure competitiveness of our made in Zimbabwe quality goods and products. Investments in laboratories, standards, compliance, and certification for traceability must remain our strategic priorities. Comrades and friends, countrymen and women, innovation, technology, research and development are no longer optional. The agriculture sector has evolved to data, mechanization, and agri-technologies which ride on artificial intelligence. Faced with this reality, precision and climate-smart agriculture must be boldly embraced by all our farmers. Further, it is critically important that the deployment of soil sensors, satellite monitoring, and the drone services be expedited. These must be complemented by the digitization of extension and agronomy services across all provinces, ward by ward. Meanwhile, I challenge the institutions of higher learning and the country's research ecosystem to scale up innovations, inventions, trademarks, and patents related to agriculture and agro-processing. Applications and data from laboratories, as well as output from innovation hubs and industrial parks, must be products that our farmers can use today and in the future for improved household incomes and the benefit of our country as a whole. Our preparation for the 2026-2027 agriculture season will continue to be informed by science. We are rolling out a national early warning system and index-based insurance program. Under these forward-looking initiatives, stronger disaster preparedness and support measures are in place to guarantee risk and burden reduction for vulnerable communities, including women, children, and youth. Meanwhile, my administration is alive to the centrality of infrastructure and energy as key enablers for increased agriculture production and productivity. We thus continue to rehabilitate and modernize our national roads, rail, and air infrastructures, while concerted efforts are being made to speed up investments in cold chain and storage facilities. My government is expanding our national agriculture mechanization capacity, with each village earmarked to have access to a tractor and other key equipment. Comrades and friends, countrymen and women, the future of farming is anchored on our women, our youth, productive and entrepreneurial population of our country. This segment of our demography is a vital cog of agriculture, as both drivers and beneficiaries. To this end, my administration is establishing youth agriculture entrepreneurial hubs across our provinces, and also broadening the reach of the Women in Agriculture Fund to ensure that no one and no place is left behind. I am therefore confident that this premier event will go a long way to enrich the perspectives, insights, and networks within the agriculture sector towards the realization of our national goals. On its part, my government will continue to support the Zimbabwe Agricultural Society to modernize this exhibition park and expand its impactful programs in districts and wards of our beloved motherland, Zimbabwe. It is my expectation that The various resolutions and recommendations emanating from this annual premier event will help inform the implementation of our people-centered programs and projects. To our private sector, I challenge you to take up the opportunities for investments and partnerships outlined in our National Development Strategy #2. Together, let us nurture and weave long-term synergies for the local manufacture of fertilizers and livestock vaccines, among other components required in the agriculture sector and the broader economy. Nyika inovakwa, igotongwa, igonamatirwa. Hallelujah. To our farmers, I urge you to be commercial, innovate and adapt new technologies while entrenching a culture of continuous improvement, production and productivity. Ngatirimei minda yedu, asilimeni amasimu yetu vakiti. Our national land resources have moved from being a form of communal entitlement or settlement to being assets of production, wealth creation, and empowerment. To the youth and to our women, agriculture is the overarching business of the present and the future. I challenge you to lead this sector, the youth and the women. Help feed the nation and produce the feedstock for our industry. Finally, I wish to congratulate those who have been recognized and have won awards for their performance. World-class exhibitions and displays we have seen today. I say to you, Makorokoto amhlope vana veZimbabwe. With these remarks, it is now my singular honor and indeed pleasure to declare this 116th edition of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show officially open. God bless you, God bless Zimbabwe, and thank you.